So, about a year ago, I got strongly convinced that it was time for me to take up my music ministry.
By the power of the Holy Spirit, we send you forth.
So, I will be taking you on my journey. This is my story, and no one would tell it better than I will.
Okay, so you called Fagans. How do you pronounce it? Pronounce it again, Fagans.
I said France.
Maybe because I have my R is faulty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I always pick it up when people use the
R.
So Fagans. So you go to France often?
Yes, I used to a lot, and then all of these other French-speaking African countries too.
What's in there for you? What's the attraction?
They love my music.
Oh, so you're following the numbers.
Yes.
And how do they react? I've never been to a francophone country to see how they enjoy the music. How do they react? It's English.
They're real lovers of music. Like, language is never a barrier, and they sing every word. And it happens with every artist that they love. They appreciate music a lot.
Some people would say when they have this sort of love, that it also informs how they market their art. Like, I know artists who have had to release French versions of their music.
Yes. It also helps them. It also helps the listeners, right, to connect with you. Not like they don't connect with your English songs, but sometimes, they don't really understand English a lot. So it's also good when you give them what they can read.
Their language.
Yeah.
But doesn't it take away something from it? Switching the language that they're
No, it doesn't. Music is music, at the end of the day. I don't think the language is a problem when it comes to music.
And since you transitioned, it's 1 year now. Congratulations.
Thank
1 year
you.
Gospel art. 1 year gospel artist.
Thank you.
Since you transitioned, have you had to focus on that market a lot?
Not yet. In this 1 year, a lot has happened.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot is still happening. So
Yeah,
I still have a lot of balancing to do. A lot of recordings and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of getting the sound right and stuff like that. Yeah. So, over time, definitely, I would tilt back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it takes a lot of strength to do what you did.
Yes.
And conviction.
That's the word.
Strength and conviction.
Conviction, yes.
Conviction, because you are altering your life. You're not just altering your career, you're altering your life. Everything about your life.
Yes.
And then strength, because execution is hard.
Sure.
Yes, it is.
Sure. I mean, in a terrain where you're not even used to, right?
Yeah. True.
It's a terrain where you barely know what's going on.
Yeah. And then when you started, first, what is this conviction? What convinced you? What made you decide to do this? I know I've seen it in places where you've spoken a bit about this, but I don't think it was exhaustive. What was your mindset then at that point?
Oh, well, first I would say everyone that knows Chidinma, that is close to Chidinma, knows that, this was going to happen, right? Someday.
Were you given vibes about this in the past? Why was it inevitable?
Well, I've always been a lover of Jesus. I've always loved God. I was raised by Christian parents.
Yeah.
Praying parents, so I've always been a Christian all my life. I've always loved God. I've always carried God with me everywhere. Oh, nice. So it has always been in me. But it's not something that I wanted to force. Yeah. Right? So I wanted it to happen. I have times when people would tell me, even my pastor would tell me, why don't you just do this? Just go into ministry and stuff like that. I want to, but I know it will happen. But I'm waiting for the right time when I'm convinced, myself, this is not anyone telling me, when I just know. Okay, so I mean the whole thing started when I decided to go on a personal retreat.
Okay. What does a personal retreat mean for you?
For me, it's just a time with God, like separation from everything.
So you travel somewhere.
Yes, I did. Most times, I mean,
Was
sometimes
was
you
it
don't have to travel.
Fagans?
No, no, it's not France. No, no, it's not.
Okay.
When I had to go away, I even had to leave social media for almost 3 months, thereabout.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was off.
And every day for 3 months, you were praying and reading the Bible, and
I was fasting. I was praying, studying the Bible.
That's 90 days.
Thereabout.
That's longer than Jesus did.
I mean, I wanted to do that for myself for
Okay.
about maybe a week.
Yeah.
Because I'd had this back and forth with my now manager at the time, so we had kept talking,
Yeah.
and then so I said, okay, you know what, I need to find out myself what God really wants me to do about this thing, because I mean that's really where my heart is. I know how I feel every time that I sing in church. I believe that, I mean, the Bible also says it, but it is real for me. Like, if we have to worship God, we need to do it in spirit and in truth. So if
Yeah.
I'm going to do this, I don't want to do it based off of, okay, yeah, maybe I just want to do gospel music or anything like that. I wanted to be convinced that this is where I'm meant to be. So I said, okay, I need to speak to God myself. Like, I need to hear him tell me to do this. So I did. I wanted to do just about a week or thereabout.
Yeah.
And then I started getting into it. And I mean, things started getting clearer. I was enjoying every bit of it.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing that has ever happened to me. I had my time with God. Like, it was sweet.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't easy. It wasn't rosy. I mean, all the fasting and praying and stuff. But I enjoyed every bit of it.
Yes, of course you'd enjoy it.
Yeah.
Go with God.
I enjoyed it. I mean, that was where I got my clarity.
Yeah. And you pursued that clarity.
Yes, I did.
And so I'm curious about this. So you go on this, you have this conflict within you, saying, did you feel a conflict before you left?
It was hard. Like, it was a lot going on.
Yeah, okay.
It was a lot going on. I was confused. Like, I just didn't want to make any kind of mistakes. I wanted to be sure. I didn't want that case of just like what you said earlier. People going to gospel music and then things just take the wrong turn.
A different turn.
Yeah. So I just wanted to be sure for myself.
So this might be a bit personal, but when you say you spend time retreating, having these conversations with God, and when God finally gives you like the word in your heart, how do you feel it? How do you know it's from Him? I want to know.
I mean, it works differently for everyone.
Okay, how does yours work?
I hear it.
Literally.
Yeah, I actually heard it. I heard it. I felt it.
So you got called
Yes.
directly.
Yes. I mean, I've always been called, but
But this one was just a rededication of it.
Yeah.
Or a confirmation.
It was just a confirmation, really. I mean, that's what I was looking for anyway, a confirmation. Yeah.
Okay, and so you come out of this 3 months later. Who do you talk to first after this?
My mother.
You guys are close?
Yes, quite.
Yes. She's always been a huge support system.
Always. She affects my life a lot.
So you go to her and then what do you tell her?
Oh, well, the truth is, I didn't tell her I was leaving.
Okay.
I really didn't tell anyone. I just disappeared.
Okay, I mean like after when you came out.
Yeah, so when I came out, I mean, I had to explain to her, like speak to her, let her know everything that happened to me while I was there. I mean,
was she worried?
No, she wasn't worried. I think she was the happiest human being on earth.
Yeah.
because, I mean, she had also wished for that.
Oh. Yeah. But was there any point, if she's been wishing for this, was there any point where she pretty much like asked you directly to do this?
A lot of times.
For real?
Yes, a lot. Ever since I started doing music, she's like, "Are you sure? Are you sure you don't want to?" It was a lot. It was a struggle for her.
Yeah. Well, how does having this? I think there's a dilemma here that I've noticed. Your mom is supporting you, supporting your choices, being with you, but at the same time requesting that you do this. Yes. How does that play out? How did that affect your art?
Well, she has always been supportive, right? So she wouldn't tell me what or what not to do.
Yeah.
But she would just be like, "Okay, I feel like this is what can you try to do this?" Like, okay, so she'll be like, "Don't you want to do gospel music? I feel like you would,
you'll kill it.
You would do better. Like, it is you, it is natural. You love God, so why don't you just..." At the same time, she doesn't want to tell me, "Oh, you need to stop doing secular music." My mother she's not forceful. Like, she's a very cool woman,
Yeah, she just prods you and then...
Yeah, I mean, she also wants me to be happy, at the end of the day. So she doesn't want to counter my choices.
So were you happy before your transition? Do you think you were truly happy in secular music?
I would say that I wasn't fulfilled.
Okay, Okay, happiness and fulfillment, they're two different things.
I wasn't. Joey, please.
I asked the question. You answered another one. Okay. Okay. Were you okay? In what sense were you unfulfilled in secular music?
I mean, like I said, I've always been a carrier of God, right?
Okay.
I've always been a carrier of Jesus. I've always known that I just want to use my music to just worship God, to praise God. And that wasn't what I was doing in secular, know. But you know how sometimes we make some decisions, because that's what we have to do, at the time.
Yeah.
When I started doing music, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thought, "Oh yeah, Chidinma is going to be a gospel artist." Even my pastor spoke to me about it.
Because you started in church?
I've always been in church. When I got out of the competition, my lifestyle, even in the competition, people knew that, "Oh, this girl might just come out and be a gospel artist."
Yeah.
And it was obvious that, oh yeah, she actually loves God, but probably she's just doing music for the love of it. She's just doing this music for the love of it. And so the people just saw me and thought, "Oh, Chidinma is going to be, a gospel artist." I mean, that's what it was supposed to be. But then I had obligations, I had stuff to do. I had to take care of family and stuff like that. So that was the option I had at the time. That was really going to help me, you take care of stuff.
Okay, you took a detour because you needed to take one for the team.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But even while you were making secular music, there were two parts of Chidinma.
Yes.
Like, there was this, I don't want to use the personality disorder, it's too strong.
I know.
It was too strong a word, but
yeah.
You could literally see that this was two people, two different people expressing the art in two different ways. Yeah. Like, you could be Miss Katie K, you were Miss Katie K, and at the same time, you're making songs about, like, pure love.
Love, yes.
Extreme love songs and baller records. And people were like, what is happening here? Was it still a part of that internal conflict?
Yes, definitely. Well, the Miss Katie K part, I mean, that one has always been there. Like, that has to do a lot with my growing up, my foundation, my environment. Yeah. And that definitely had to somehow, show in my music. Yeah.
How did you grow up?
Oh, well, I should I say I grew up in the hood?
Oh, the hood. Knuckle. You grew up in the trenches.
In the trenches. That's it.
Okay, you grew up in the hood, and
Yeah.
how did the hood influence you then?
The people around me, all the guys, all the fights, all
Yeah.
we don't know what's going on, everyone is running, what's happening, nobody knows what's going on. So all of that happening in the hood, the language, which is Yoruba.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where all that started from. The expression, the all those things.
Did you fight though?
No. I've never been a fighter.
Oh.
No. I'm cool chick.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so that's what Miss Katie K thing. And then Chidinma, I'm a love being. I love to sing about love. So that's why, even with gospel, that's never going to change.
Yeah.
I'll keep singing about love. Yeah.
Okay, and then the love part, was it, people would say, and this is a conversation that's also a number of artists who have made faith-based music and also also dabbled into like singing about love. Some people would say love sometimes can cross the line into the other side. That sometimes it cannot pair with faith. Or would you say it's the way the music is being made?
Well, first of all, God is love.
Okay.
Right? I don't think that we can talk about love outside of God. Yes, God is love. God Himself is love. So, but when you say crossing to,
okay, when people make certain love songs, there are elements of it that are not palatable in.
Yes, that's going vulgar and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's the line, right? So that's the line that cannot be crossed.
Okay, but if it's expression of like the feelings towards each other and how you value each other and all of that, that's itself is God.
Yes, of course.
That's nice. So, transitioning, you told your mom she was happy. Your team members, how did they take it?
Well, like I said, everyone around me, I don't think they were shocked.
Okay.
Right? They weren't surprised. Everyone knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Right? It was going to come. It was just a matter of time. Right? And that whole journey was not something that was easy for me.
Yeah.
Whilst there, on the retreats, it was a lot of work that I had to do. At some point I got tired.
Yeah.
I felt like running away.
Whoa.
Yeah, I felt like running away. It was
this work.
It got overwhelming.
This work that you mentioned. Like,
yeah.
What does it look like? What's it comprised of?
The
work to be able to transition.
Okay, so for me it was more spiritual.
Yeah.
It was a lot of spiritual exercise that I had to go through.
Okay.
Like I said, I had to just at time be in tune with God.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't going to do this without Him.
Yeah.
So doing that required a lot of, like I said, a lot of separation. I wasn't speaking to anyone. I didn't have a phone with me.
You didn't have a phone?
I didn't have a phone with me.
Then how were you communicating day to day?
There were people around me that probably my mom could call. Like she had the person's number. Yeah. My now manager has the person's number, so they could reach me. And also there are times that they could reach me, not like they could reach me at any time.
Okay, so when you ask God for a break,
when I have breaks,
okay.
When I have breaks, I have times that I'm just praying, I'm just studying. Like I would go up to the mountain top.
Whoa.
Yeah, and in one of those times, I got so tired that I started hearing voices.
Yeah.
A lot of voices, different voices. And the one that was clear to me at the time was the one that told me to jump.
Jump off the cliff?
Jump off the cliff.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was in the night.
Did you jump?
No, I didn't. I won't be sitting here with you.
Maybe you jumped and maybe you got caught midway. You know, I can tell.
Yeah. I was told to jump, and I was going to do that. You know, I was moving close, and closer and closer to the cliff. I thought I was going to jump. Really.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. There was still something just holding me back. There was still. I mean, I was going to. I already stretched out my hand, and I could feel like there was a barricade. Which wasn't supposed to be there.
Okay.
Natural, like there is no barricade there, but I don't know where the barricade came from when I.
And you felt it.
Yeah, when I felt it.
So when you look back to moments like this, these are moments that confirm that you're on the right path.
Yes.
The significant moments when you supercharged. If you had taken another decision, you'd have gone a different way. Things would have gone a different way. But you did this. So in a manner of speaking, you overcame that urge, all of that, and you're here. 1 year on. Yeah. You should be happy. You should be so proud of yourself.
I'm so proud of myself. Like, God has been good. God has been faithful. I've never been happier. Trust me, I've never felt love like this before. Like, I feel so loved.
Yeah.
I feel so fulfilled. I just feel this joy in my heart that I don't even know how to express it.
Yeah.
You know, like nothing matters to me.
Yeah.
You know, other than Jesus, and just finding ways to please him, because whether we like it or not, it is not an easy route. I remember times that even while I was reading, I had times that I cried.
Yeah.
I had times that I cried over and over again, like just asking God, are you sure this is hard? You know, I have to wait on you. I have to pray and do all of these things, you know.
So, in a sense,
yeah,
I spoke with another artist, another gospel artist.
Yeah.
I think I spoke with Sinach.
Okay.
And from my learning in that conversation, music becomes very different when you add God to it. Even the way you make it.
Yes.
So it's no more an exercise of your talent. It's now ministration.
Yes, that's it.
How does that change your approach to your art and your career, knowing that previously you could get up and go,
Yes.
but now you know it's beyond the physical now. How does connecting with God change music?
Oh well.
And how has it changed yours?
Oh yes. So I mean, this is personal.
Yeah.
Definitely personal. Like I said, it's still the same music.
Yeah.
It is the approach
Okay.
that's different.
What's this approach now?
I mean, I had said earlier that I didn't want to do this alone.
Okay.
Like God has to do this with me, has to be in this with me. So it's more like everything I have to do, every single word that I have to say, have to be directed by Him.
Okay.
You know, so I'm not doing anything by myself. So he's the one in charge, right? So he's the one who is calling the shots.
Okay, you're just the vessel for that.
Exactly.
How has the world reacted to you doing this? I want to know, because we could see on social media where people would say A, say B, and say C, but that's social media.
Yeah.
But like, how has your world reacted to this? What have you felt from the world? Or what did you feel from the world making this decision?
Oh, there's been mixed reactions.
Okay.
Yeah, even with family.
Okay.
There's been mixed reactions, but it's so encouraging that most of the reaction that I got were all positive. You know, so it was a lot of, oh, we thank God for her. You know, we thank God for you. You know, thank God for being here. There was a lot of, oh, you're welcome back home. You know, yeah. There was a lot of that, but I mean, it's been good. It's been positive. It's been inspiring.
Who was the most shocked amongst your people?
Shocked. Was there anyone shocked? No.
Who had the most surprise to give you?
Maybe some of my brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of my brothers, yes.
They really loved Miss KDK.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So God makes controls the music.
Yeah.
He makes it this. So where does talent come in now?
Well,
Like where does it what is the role of talent here?
talent has always been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talent is not going anywhere. God created all these things, right? God created everything for his own pleasure, right?
Yeah.
So and again, he has given this talent, right? And he expects that these talents are used to please him.
Yeah.
So talents would definitely always be there. God is not, he needs to work with the talent.
Okay.
Right? So talent has always been there. Everything. I mean, it's I like that I've had a lot of experience in the secular,
Yeah.
And it's such a good thing, that so fulfilling for me, that I have to bring in, everything that I've experienced into the new life that I'm living right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so talent always will be there.
Performances now. What's different between like playing this? What's different in your performances?
We had talked about ministrations earlier.
Yeah.
So now they're ministrations. They are now
They're
God.
no longer performances.
No. They're now God driven. Everything now has to be about God. So I just empty myself, and allow him fill me up, and just use me in whichever way he deems fit.
That's giving a level of control handing a level of control over to
Yes,
a third party.
He's in charge now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know why I give this knuckle? Because it makes me happy. Because I look at your career, look how far you've come.
Yeah.
And when you announced a year ago that you were doing this, I went on the internet. I saw all of this. A number of people could not understand.
Yeah, a lot of people were confused.
Yes, the confusion was so much. And I went through lots of comment sections. And I was like, okay, let's see what happens. Yeah. And then you dropped Jehovah Overdue.
Yeah.
You started with Jehovah Overdue. Yeah. And the numbers were mad. As someone who follows music, numbers are how you confirm growth. Numbers are how you confirm progress, confirm growth.
Numbers never lie.
They never lie.
Yeah.
What are your numbers? Your numbers are not lying. If I pick this up now, like look at Jehovah Overdue. Where's YouTube? Jehovah Overdue is. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure the ad does not play in. Okay, cool. Jehovah Overdue is 21 million on YouTube alone.
Yes.
That's crazy. Because I've seen people do this. People come into this. People make this transition. I've been here long enough to see that. A few people make this transition, and then when they do it, they announce, they move, and then the music they make a lot of people don't connect anymore. Their numbers actually drop. Were you ever scared of that you were going to lose people?
I wasn't scared of anything.
Okay.
Like I said,
were you concerned at least?
I wasn't. Like I said, all I needed to move was my conviction.
From God?
Yes, that's all I needed. So the moment I caught it, I didn't care about anything. So that's how I live my life right now. It's not really about anybody. It's not even about me.
So operating in this industry, it runs parallel to secular music industry.
Yeah.
They mostly never meet.
Mm-hmm.
Never.
I don't think so.
Never. Except maybe some people can say they want to straddle both lines.
Yes.
And then, but you can't go too far into secular and still walk back at the same time and hold it. Kanye West does it. But that's a different market
Yeah,
entirely.
that's a different market.
But
Yeah.
down here,
Down
you
here,
can-
it's a different ball game. Like here, either here or there.
there.
You know, you can play in between.
So what's the difference now in the gospel music industry? What's different? How do you move now? What were the things you had to learn or the things you had to take up in this space to be a part of it?
Oh, well, I remember that I had to learn how to address some people.
Okay. How?
Yeah, like, I mean, like men of God, you know, how to address them, you know. I had lots of lessons on how to speak, you
Like
know.
actual lessons.
Yeah, how to speak, what to say, what not to say, you know, at places, at events, you know, because I'm not used to this. Like,
Yeah.
I'd being in secular for a while, you know, and this is an entirely different journey, you know, so I had to just learn a lot of things. Yeah.
What was the hardest for you? What did you keep failing?
You know, in secular we do a lot of, you know, there's a lot of I do my thing my way, you know, this is how I feel. I just go ahead and do stuff. You know, we can be very we can just, you know, get up and go.
Yeah.
You know, I remember then I love to travel a lot.
Okay.
You know, without even speaking to anyone, I just pack my bags and I'm gone.
But you're good.
Yeah,
But, you know.
I just do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but right now, like I said before, I'll keep saying it, this is about God, it's not about me anymore. You know, so most of the decisions I have to take, I even have to pray about them. You know, I pray about everything.
Yeah.
Every single, so there's nothing I do
So you can't make
out
any move.
of God. Yeah, he has to direct every single step that I take. Yeah.
So in February you dropped For You featuring Fioki.
Yeah.
That was a love song. I know you said God is love.
Mm-hmm.
And but doing that, for songs like that aren't exactly very direct in connecting to God, like you can't compare For You with Osuba in terms of the delivery, in terms of the direction, the message even. You can connect that.
Yeah.
For songs like that, do they remind you of the past when you have to work like that? Because you did love songs when you were still secular.
Yeah. I have to do, I'm still doing love songs, but differently now, you know, love in the God way.
Yeah.
You know, well, I wasn't even doing love songs in a way that wasn't pleasing to God before now, even the secular. My love songs have always been pure love songs. So the only difference is now it's just the context, right?
Yeah.
You know, how God wants us to love.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
And how does God want us to love?
I mean, love for one another, you know, pure love, love for your partner, for your husband, you know, nothing vulgar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. I get that. And your latest record is Oshuba.
Yes.
I love the video.
Thank you.
I do. I was watching it. It had you put in a lot in there. Even though you stood in one place while delivering yours, but like all the other elements there, the drumming, the smoke, all the dancing.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Thank you.
Worship is something I've always loved as a kid and as an adult.
That's cool.
I don't do a lot of church now.
That's cool. Yeah.
I don't go to church a lot now, but worship is another dimension. Do you feel the same way when you make a song like this? Like for me now, listening to it, I'm overwhelmed by it. I get into the spirit and all. When you're making it, is it still the same thing? Like is it stronger, that feeling?
Well, that song came out of a place of worship.
Okay.
I was in a place of worship when I got that song.
Okay.
So that song for me is very, can be very personal. I was in a place where I was just loving on God. Like I was just loving on Jesus. I was just, being thankful. I was looking back, at everything that happened, how he brought me here. I was just being thankful when I received that song, So I'm not particularly surprised when I get this kind of
Reactions.
reactions. Yeah, so it's just a deep worship song that just tells how great God is, how we can't even express how great He is. Yeah.
And for the people you work with, you worked with Fioki for the song in February.
Yeah.
You worked with him. And you've also worked with, I spoke with you earlier before the conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And we spoke about, and I asked, like, when you have to work with a collaborator like Fioki, who has worked with you across both worlds, how does it change? Because now, previously he worked with you and maybe a few other managers. But now he's working with you and God.
Yes.
Yes, that's different. How does it change?
I feel like he understands that part of me.
Yeah.
So he can connect. He can connect with me. He knows my journey.
Yeah.
Right. So I feel like he's also one of those people who are not surprised.
Okay.
By this. So it wasn't a struggle. It wasn't a struggle at all.
But then all your previous collaborators.
Yeah.
In what way does it change things with them, this move?
Well, I've not I don't particularly know.
Okay.
Right? Because I've not been in touch with some people.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel like maybe some might just feel or maybe Chidinma right now is unapproachable.
Yeah.
Because definitely conversations have changed.
But it does, and I don't know how, but in the world generally, even without music in the world, like if I know Chinedum, for example, who's sitting across there, if I know him, and then one day Chinedum shows up and says, I am no longer, and maybe I used to party with Chinedum, I used to go out with Chinedum, we do a few things, and now Chinedum, I see on Chinedum's social media or Chinedum's Instagram that Chinedum says, hey, I'm having a rededication of my entire existence. I'm going to go to God now. I'm not going, Chinedum, and instantly what it tells me is, especially when I didn't hear that same call, what it tells me now is, Chinedum can party with me no more. Like in the way that we used to rock.
Yes.
I can't take Chinedum to certain spaces or invite him to certain places because he's there. So in a manner of speaking, that makes you unapproachable to a certain degree.
Yes, so that's what I mean. So automatically some people just think that when they see, when they hear that, oh, this person is doing this now, some people just feel like that. Some people do not feel like that. Some people just understand and be like, yeah, it changes nothing. Of course there'll be boundaries, but not like it's a total shutdown.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's just pause.
Okay.
Okay, we're back. We had to take a little break
Yeah.
because this place was spirit filled. Okay, so I'm very interested in how I know you say a lot of the creativity you have now is very God sanctioned. But at the same time, there are elements of music that make it more, that are very humanly based. Like, take for example, secular music is very big on the feeling.
Yes.
Like you've made music in the past where people appreciate the feeling, and that comes from things like melody, melody, even the words, how you use your voice, and all those things.
Yeah.
With gospel music, I like to use the word faith-based music.
Okay.
But for specifically gospel music, the focus is on the message.
Yes.
Is the body not to be edified also?
I mean, well, I feel like that's where professionalism comes in.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, it's about the message, definitely. But also, we have to know what we're doing. You know, like we have. I feel like, you know, doing this for me, yeah, the message is there, but then this feeling you had talked about, we also have these feelings, you know, about God or towards God.
Okay.
Like right now, I love God, you know, so I just want to sing about everything that He is to me.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the feeling. That's how I feel about Him.
But I'm referencing things like melody.
Yeah, that's the melody also comes in from there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, I'm feeling something. Of course, I'm saying how I feel. The melody comes from there. So, aside the message, there's also the how I feel, how God makes me feel. You know, and that eventually, you know, translates into my melody. Definitely.
Okay. When you launched initially,
Yeah.
and I'll be very honest with you.
Okay.
You know, this comes from a very personal place.
Okay.
The first time you launched a year ago, you had this headgear. I would never. So you had this headgear. You looked more like Mama Chidinma, like, you know, those the Christian mothers, the Christian people, I don't use mothers.
I know what you're saying.
You get that image of Mama Chidinma. There was a headgear it was yellow in color. Was it yellow? You wore black and then it was yellow.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that video, and in my head I'm like, Chidinma don't go. Yes, that's what I thought personally. And I'm like, because in my head, when people make this sort of transition, they sort of ease us in. Like I have a number of artists who have done this also. They ease you in.
Gradually.
They gradually take away the things of the world.
Yes,
if I'm so inclined to say,
yes.
and then replace it bit by bit until it goes. But for you, it was straight up, Mama. And now I'm looking at you. So coming down here also, I know in the videos, I watched your videos. When you release, I watch them, I stream them, and I see the branding is not like that. But in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe this is like the showbiz part. In my head, I expected to see you with Mama.
Come in here. Right?
So you're walking now.
Oh my God.
You're walking in now, and you're not Mama. What happened? Like, what happened there? Like in that video, most especially, what was happening, and why were you like that? Wow. Yes, I want to know. Like, was that how you was? Why? Why was that?
That was intentional. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it was an intentional strategy.
Okay.
You know, because
was this man-made or God-made?
Leave me alone.
Okay, so it was intentional.
You know, it was very intentional. You know, we have quite a religious audience.
True.
Right.
True.
So, I mean, I'd done well for myself, like in secular, like I was good, you know. And there's this, of course, to them, there's this perception of Chidinma that they have, you know, in their head. So I couldn't just come at them with that.
Okay.
If I feel like if I'd done that, they'll probably not be convinced or feel like
it would seem incomplete. It would seem unnatural.
Yes, to them, you know. So I just had to do that. you know, to just, you know, make everybody calm. You know, like, but I mean, I knew that eventually, I was just going to, you know, be myself and do what I'm comfortable with. You know? But right there at the beginning, I just didn't want any.
It was important for that image to be registered in your head.
Yes, it was very, very important. Yeah.
Huh. So you're not Mama.
No, I'm not Mama. I'm Chidinma. I'm Chidinma.
So how does making this move, and that was just a tiny part of like a larger conversation, because the conversation here is branding. Yeah. You know, how does making this move going into this? How do you now know how to brand yourself? What are you thinking in your head when you're saying, okay, this is how I want to present myself to the world? What elements, what happened over the last 1 year? What have you seen?
Well, there's been a lot of expectations here. So I remember that after Jehovah Overdue, after a while, I started like, you know, expressing myself, you know, with how I look, as regards how I look and all of that. And I got a lot of, oh, why is she still wearing earrings? Why is she still, you know, having makeup on? Why is she still wearing shorts and all of that? Well, I believe that some people get, you know, convinced not to do all of those things. Oh. Right. Some people are not comfortable with that. Yeah. You know, some say it's their conviction not to do all of that. But I didn't get that as part of my conviction, you know.
Okay, so when you got the call, you were called to be a vessel and not cut off all of those things.
No, I do not have to cut. I mean, it wasn't an issue for me. It doesn't affect my faith in any way. Yeah. It doesn't affect how I relate with God. You know, it doesn't affect. I don't think it affects how God feels about me.
Oh, that's progressive then. Because it was so hardcore in the past. I was shocked. Even I was shocked. I know. I know you like in person, and I know you in person, and not just on the internet. Yeah. So even for me, I was like,
what happened?
What happened? Like this was it. But in any way, and then still in branding, other elements of branding. Your music videos have changed. The music video has changed. Jehovah Overdue, you had different elements. You know, you had choirs in there. Yeah. You had all the others. Of course, the dressing too had changed. The dressing was very. I would tell you. Yes. The dressing there, Jehovah Overdue especially. It was very. You know.
Oh my God.
But the point is, your music video, the feel of it, everything had changed.
Yeah.
Was that, do you think you can, and people always say this, I'm sitting from the other side of the market, the secular side, and I see all these elements, and I go to gospel, and I see that some of these elements are absent. Instead, we have a minister in there for the most part, just leading the entire thing. What changes when you make music videos now? Like, what changes did you make?
Well, you know that I worked with a videographer for a while.
Yes. Yes, you did.
Yeah, so I'm very intentional about my videos. Yeah. You know, so I feel like even as ministers, I feel like we should be creative. Yeah. You know, with everything that we do, you know, how we look, you know, how the music sounds and all of that. So that actually it's just a part of me that I had to just bring in, you know, into this new experience that I have. Yeah. You know, that has always been there. I feel like we just need to do a lot more. Yeah. I need to do a lot more, you know, with because I feel like there's this expectation, you know, on me to do things differently. Yeah. You know, and I also put those expectations on myself. You know, to do these things how it should be done. You know, everyone loves beautiful videos. we all love beautiful music. So I feel like right now I'm in the place, to express myself, however I want to, but then not stepping out of and good videos.
Good videos.
Yeah, good videos. Part of it, yeah.
I know I've always loved your video. I love your videos, even down to the recent one, the one Oshuba. I love it.
Yeah,
I love the white. It looked like a Christian superhero in there.
I just feel like we need to be intentional about these
all,
things.
yes.
Yeah, we need to be intentional. Yeah.
And so, just as an extension of this, you didn't cross over with some of the people you were working with, like for videos, most especially. Clients Bit has handled all your stuff.
Yes.
You guys still cool?
Yes, definitely. Francois is my guy. Yeah, and of course we would still work together. I don't think that would affect my work in any way. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because I really liked your combination with him.
It was good. Yeah,
Yes,
it was really good.
Yes, and I think if I like to think if that level of collaboration is also taken into gospel music, what would happen with the phenomenon? We need a revolution.
It will. I know it's coming. Revolution is coming. Yeah.
Oh, it's here. You know how they say you dodge a bullet, hashtag the bullet, hyphen the bullet. So now you're telling me the revolution is coming, hyphen the revolution.
Well.
You're too modest.
Well.
You're way too modest. Okay, so in 1 year, what have you learned? 1 year of doing this, what have you learned in this?
I've learned so much, and I'm still learning. It's a continued process for me.
What's one of the strongest like learnings you've had this year, in the last 1 year as a gospel artist?
Honor. Yeah.
In what sense?
Honor people in general.
Okay.
Right? Honor for people. I've learned accountability.
Okay.
Yes.
Previously, what does accountability look like now?
Accountability to God.
Okay.
To people. Yeah. I mean, I mentioned to you before how we just want to do, whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
But right now,
it has to be divinely approved.
Yeah. I have people to be accountable to. I have God to be accountable to. Yeah, I learned that. I learned general virtues of this kingdom. Yeah.
So would you ever get to a position ever where you're going to minister on a larger scale? Your scale is large now. I'm just saying on a larger scale, or even at the same scale, but not without music.
Absolutely.
Do you see that happening for yourself, where at some point where you're going to divest yourself of the music and keep the ministry and just go with it and touch a lot of lives?
Definitely. It's going to happen. Well, I always say that this journey that I've decided to embark on is bigger than the music.
Yeah.
It is. This is not just the music. This is my life, and this is my entire life, right? My love for God, my love for Jesus, and that I feel like is different from the music.
Yeah.
So whatever I'm doing right now is larger than the music. I know that I have people that want to, ask me questions, that want to listen to me, that want to, know how I got here. People that people that are experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing right now, and they want to know how to scale through. They just want to, learn these lessons. People that have, people that are where I have been before.
Yeah.
So this is just bigger than, it's bigger than music. So definitely, I'm getting there. It's part of the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. I think you're brave. Like I said at the start, I think you're brave, and I think what you have done has never been done in this market at the scale that you've done it. So in that sense, people can look at you now and say, especially people who want to do the switch or want to, or feel a certain yearning in their heart to chase or get the calling even. Yeah. Because it's one thing to get the calling, it's another thing to move.
To move, yes.
It is, because before you moved, you had to go make sure the line was clear.
Yes. Oh my God.
For 3 months.
Yes.
Yes, you had to go make sure the line was clear. And then even after that, all of these things, the changes, the lessons, the learnings, you had to do that. At the end of this, of all of this, like when you think about like what final form is, because you're still growing, you're still extending.
Yes.
At the end of this journey, going through all of these paths and, ending up with God, what do you want out of it for yourself? Because a lot of what I'm hearing is God. And I know God is your entire life. Yeah. But you're also a person. What do you want out of all of this for yourself? So I was asking, like, as a person, what's in this? Like, what's in this for you? What are you taking home for yourself? I know you love God. I know He directs everything. But I'm sitting here and I'm looking at this person. What do you want out of it for yourself?
Well, I would say fulfillment and blessing lives.
Okay.
This is what is in it for me. Like at the moment, I said to you earlier, the joy that I feel, the peace that I have is second to none. Yeah. I'm so at peace. I feel loved. I feel so fulfilled, and I think that is enough for me.
Nice. But do you miss it though?
Oh well, I'm not going to pretend. I'm human. I'm not going to pretend like sometimes it don't call out.
It calls out to you.
Me, yeah. But the thing is, I'm not drawn.
Yeah.
So yes, that's it.
So the world would always call out to you, but you're answering that call is depending on you, whether you're drawn or not.
I've gone too far away from all of that. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much.
Can you just give him that chance? He's right here, right now, and he's waiting for you. If in the kingdom of heaven right now, there's a party going on. Because people are giving their lives, right? Even if it's a soul. This is actually the reason why we are here today. We are here because of these people. Not because of the artists, not because of the songs. We are here because of these people. There was a void in me that needed to be filled, that only Jesus can fill. I ran away from the call. I ran away from Africa. I disappeared. But he kept pulling me back. The more I ran away, the more he pulled me back to himself. And trust me, this is the best decision of my life. He's going to pray for you.
Repeat after me. Heavenly Father, we acknowledge you today in the congregation of your people. we acknowledge that you came to this world, you died, you were crucified, and you died on the cross, and you were buried. But right on the third day, you rose from the dead. And the reason is for my redemption, for my salvation. I believe in my heart and I confess with my mouth your lordship over my life. I confess that all things have passed away because of this newness. I covenant with you and I hand over everything that pertains to me, even my thoughts, in the name of Jesus Christ. I confess that you ascended on high, and I'm seated there with this confession. I dedicate my life to you in this covenant relationship in Jesus' mighty name. Can someone say amen?